Hey YouTube, what's up? Scarecrow here, and I'm here today. There's a few deck profiles I need to catch up on. Um, if you're wondering what that noise you just heard is, that is my 2-year-old. um, but yeah, I have some deck profiles to catch up on. So today I am going to do my Gear Chronicle for standard profile, and yeah. So obviously we have our starting Vanguard. And then we have uh, 7 crit, 4 PG draw, 1 regular draw, 4 heal. Now, I'm sure a lot of people won't actually like that. um, Gear Chronicle goes through its deck pretty fast, and deck out is definitely a thing you can do in this deck. And for that reason, I'm sure many people don't like the idea of the extra draws. They just want to have the crits to end the game and not deck out, um, and which I completely understand. Um, for me though, a 1 trigger difference isn't like a huge deal to me. I often do find the draw triggers to be helpful because this deck has to run weird ratios and you can have consistency issues. So a little bit of extra draw power can help sometimes. Um, so I'm pretty okay with it. It's been working well for me. I like it. I haven't had too many deck out problems as long as like I'm aware and I play accordingly. So it's running well for me, but I completely understand why someone would want to play 8 crit. For the grade 1s, playing 4 Wedge Move Dragon. Pretty unarguable card. Counts as a grade 3 when you're using it for costs or discarding it, and has a good on-hit skill. In fact, like because of this card, I typically would prefer to go second in this deck, just because I know I'll probably be able to ride him on my first turn, swing with him, and then hit to bind a card draw. Missing out on him is like really detrimental. I feel like this deck needs to like speed through its bind cards like very quickly so it can get to the high numbers as quickly as possible and end the game before like you run out of steam where they kill you. So yeah. Next we have a very big important card in the deck, Quickie Worker. Yeah, this card is really crucial to the deck. Helps make sure that you can keep putting your grade 4s back so you don't run out. As a benefit, as a bonus, you get to draw cards, but mostly, even if this card didn't like draw your card, if it just put a card on the bottom, this would still be like a crucial card of the deck. But then I have Tomb Steam Fighter. She's a 6K. And that's why I run her at 2, but she does have a really strong skill for later in the game when you have her out and you go into your stride. You can buff up your field. I almost sometimes dislike that she draws a card to do her thing. So, yeah, because usually I'm using her in the late game, but she is pretty strong. And my last grade 1, I'm playing Tomb Steam Scara. This card's okay. It's not really that good. Sometimes it's good, but like if your opponent probably doesn't have a perfect guard and you can put it behind the Vanguard, it'll be good, but it's usually not that great. So it does bind itself though, so that's a little helpful. For the grade 2 lineup, 4 of our Last Break Dragon. This card is really good. We want to ride it turn 2. He's a 13 when you have a card that's bound. He's a good card. Next we have our 4 Steam Hunter. Some people might not play her at 4, but like I really value this card because I can use her before I do my stride to help me get to the number I want to be at, and then stride, and then get like all the benefits I could. That's why I like her. She's a good beater for the turn and gets my cards bound before I go to battle, before I stride and go to battle phase. And then my last two, I'm playing 2 Steam Mechanic. I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with this. Some people, although I think, overvalue this card because it has an impressive looking skill where it has the guard restrict. But in my experience, playing against this card and playing with it and seeing both sides of the story and stuff, this card's guard restrict skill really isn't that impressive. It usually just doesn't really matter. It might sometimes slightly help, but in general the guard restrict isn't that good. The actual things about this card that are best is it binds cards and then it moves to the soul and draws. It replaces itself, fuels the soul. Those are the best qualities about this card, if you ask me. Which I do value, but like when it comes to like between like these two cards, I value her over this one because this is getting me the cards I need bound before I'm doing my stride, and this doesn't happen till the battle phase. So it's a good card, but I think most people overvalue it. Then for our grade 3 lineup, playing 3 Lost Legend and 1 Escrewed Dragon. I don't ride Escrewed Dragon almost ever, but I like the idea of having like another grade 3, both for the fact that I can use it for a cost. It's a grade 3 to put in the bind zone, and like I'd probably rather ride this guy than just not be on a grade 3 period. His skill isn't like super good, but he actually does have a pretty good skill, and it's a Vanguard Rearguard skill, so if you haven't played this card, I probably would. I do like it for what it is, so yeah. And then we have our grade 4s. 4 Mystery Flare and 2 Idealize. Idealize is really mediocre. He's just here because he's another grade 4. But overall, he's mostly pretty mediocre. Mystery Flare is our big boy of the deck. Card we're going to stride almost every time when we have the choice. Yeah, with this build, I feel very comfortable. I almost never don't have at least the 3 cards when I go into one of my first chance to. Probably half the time I go into him on my first one, I've already hit like 7 or 8, so he gets the triple drive. I would say probably every 2 to 3 games I get off the turn skip, which is usually at that point you like win the game, as long as like you have enough cards in deck to win the game before decking out. But yeah, I like having the high grade count build of this deck, where I'm running the 6 grade 4 and the 5 grade 3. Just having like bigger numbers to like be able to bind and like accelerate Mystery Flare, just build up faster. That's how I like playing it. The deck's already a little inconsistent because you have this grade ratio issue and lower counts of like your low grades. But if you're gonna play this deck, you're gonna have to take risks, period, and do a little bit of like gambling and high rolling. So you might as well just like try to high roll hard. But yeah. So yeah, that is the deck profile. Thank you for watching.